Well, joining me today is Clare Kumar. She is a productivity expert. She joins me from Toronto. Claire, I know for parents and students, they choose to learn from home because of COVID-19, and some continue to also work from home as well. So what's the best piece of advice that you can give to both parents and students when it comes to staying organized?
One of the first things is figuring out where you're going to work, and our spaces are really under a lot of pressure now, right? With sometimes if there are two parents in the house, not often both are working from home, and then all the kids need a good study space too. So that one home office that we had potentially working for us, if we were lucky enough to have that, is a really coveted spot. So one of the first things to do is, I encourage people to do a task audit per person. And so that means understanding just what each person needs to get done, figuring out whether you're consuming information, you're creating new work, or you're collaborating with other people, because all of those different kinds of tasks drive the technology and your furniture choices as well.
What's sort of the one thing that we tend to forget when it comes to working or studying from home?
I think, no, well, it's generally in life as a worker, we sometimes we forget we're animals. And so we hear about the herd immunity, so we're reminded we're animals, and we need to think about that, because the way we interact with our environment and with each other, when it comes to the ergonomics in the office, when it comes to managing attention and needing to take a break, so we can keep thinking, managing distractions, all of those things. If we remember we're animals, not robots, and really cater to taking care of ourselves, we will be far more productive than if we think we can just keep pushing through.
You mentioned minimizing distractions. What are some of the best things we can do to not only minimize those distractions, but also minimize them and also increase our productivity?
Well, get rid of all the notifications for anything that you're going to think about anyway. So I've asked a room full of people, is there anyone here that would forget to check email? And of course, not one hand went up. So do you need a notification for an email? Probably not. For apps and so on, the first thing they want to do is infiltrate your consciousness. So they will try and get you to allow notifications. And so that's the first barrier. The second thing you can do to help preserve is communicate your availability, and don't believe that you have to be always on. I encourage people to preserve 2 90-minute work blocks, deep focused work blocks where there are no interruptions. If you're working at home with kids and you want to put a sign on the door, if you're lucky enough to have a door, or you have a code, or you're wearing something. One of my teacher friends, she had a hat on, and you could ask her a question when she had the hat on. If she didn't have the hat on, it was don't bug teacher time. So there are all kinds of ways to send cues to other people to let them know whether you're inviting interaction or not.
You know, a lot of us have been working or studying from home for the last couple of months because of COVID. And for some parents heading into the new school year, they are possibly going to be playing the role of teacher, as some parents did opt to homeschool their kids. So what would you say to those people who are going to be facing new challenges at home, whether it is going to be through homeschooling or even just students or parents that continue to do their day-to-day school or work life at home?
Well, I think this is talking about the human animal piece of it as well, is allow yourself to create the kind of schedule for your day that's really going to work for you. Teenagers, I don't know if anybody out there has a teen, you'll know that their clock is naturally switched to be a little bit later. I would love to see the in portion, if kids are going to school for teenagers, be in the second half of the day, not the first, because their natural clock is to start around noon, be active in the afternoon, and then do their quiet work in the evening, and even their socializing. So know when you work best, and then architect your day. And then also you might be better able to share those coveted workspaces in your home.
And lastly, Claire, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Yeah, there's one last point, and this is about, so number one was do a task audit and then think about your posture and the ergonomics. The last point is really understanding your preferences for your environment so that you can focus. So it can be really worthwhile too, spending some time on organizing the space so you dial down visual clutter if that's something that's going to be a visual distraction, and then using headphones I have a pair here, actually, I can show you as well. This is really cute. This is a pair for kids. And what I like about it is it's capped out at 85 decibels so that there's no hearing loss. So creating a soundscape and a visual scape that's going to promote your focus. And you can find a lot of really affordable pieces, ways to create desks and ways to organize them and ways to block out noise from staples.ca.
Well, Claire, I really appreciate your time, and thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Good luck, everybody.